It's the beginning of a brand new year and I have like 6 different cosplay ideas that I want to do. So naturally I'm doing none of them and I'm going to make something completely different. So I'm in a bit of a pickle. I have lots of different cosplay ideas that I want to start. Some of them are more complicated than others, but I'm still very much up in the air and I don't know which one to start first. So I decided, because my hands are getting itchy, to give myself a little bit more space to figure out what I'm going to tackle first, and I'm going to create something for everyday wear, something that hopefully I can wear out, or if it doesn't work out properly, just something you'll see me wearing on this channel because I'll wear it at home. Recently I have been obsessed with jumpsuits, or you may call them rompers, or play suits, or onesies. There's a few different names for them, but I am obsessed with them. And the issue is that I don't like a whole lot of them that are commercially available because I don't think they're very flattering, at least for my shaped body. So I have been looking around at a few different looks and I just go, I don't want to spend over $100 for an outfit that may or may not look good on my body. So I had a look and I thought, okay, there's a few styles that I can take a few different bits from different ones, and I'm a seller. I can just make my own, right? So I searched through my stash and I found this fabric. I've got about 3 meters of it and it's about 150 centimeters wide. So I really like the print. This was given to me for free, so if I mess it up, it's, you know, I'm not wasting any money as such. But I have this, I'm gonna use this, and then I've decided that I want my romper to be like wide leg, fitted waistband, and then I want to have something that is easy to get in and out of, because that is a real issue with jumper suits, is because of the fact that if you have like one that's like well tailored, you know, there's usually a zip in the back or like buttons up the top or hook and eyes. And frankly, I don't have time for that. When I'm wearing a romper and I need to go to the loo, I don't want to spend 5 minutes getting out of the romper to be able to use the facilities. So I have figured out, I think, how I can make this without a zipper, without any type of closures, because this is a slightly stretchy fabric. I want to do like a crossover at the front and the back, and that's why I'm using 2 different patterns. So for the pant leg, I'm using a pajama suit bottoms that I've used a number of times just for our pajamas. I'm going to use that, and then I think I'm going to make the legs a little bit wider as well. So they're going to be really wide legs because I love a good wide leg pant. And then for the top, I have this one that I've not used in a few years, but I think it will work. I'm going to do the top that is a crossover at the front and the back, and I'm going to do a fitted waistband. So I have those pieces there. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use my own darling pocket template and put pockets in this, because a good romper needs pockets, and decently sized pockets. None of that like girl jeans pocket stuff, all right? We're gonna make this functional. That is my plan. Functional, fabulous, and free. There you go. I'm gonna stop yabbering on. Hopefully there is enough fabric in this to cut all the pieces that I need, because I'm now looking at the pieces and they're very big, even though there's not a whole lot of them. If not, I may have to maybe go grab some like black lycra that I've got in my stash, and I'll incorporate that as well. But let's get cutting. So I've gone ahead and I've cut out all of the fabric. I literally have the tiniest amount left. Look, this is all I have left of the fabric, plus also some scraps which are on the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the easiest section, which is the pants, because that's straightforward enough. I'm going to sew up the pants, but I'm going to put the pockets in first. So I'm going to do that, sew those up, and then connect them to the waistband properly. And then I'll figure out how to do the top, because the top has the lining kind of already cut into the kind of overlay. So the overlay has like a gather and it's all connected. So I need to read the instructions for that particular design before I go ahead and do that. So let's start off with the pants. You know, as I'm sewing this, I realize that I don't work with stretch fabric very often, and there's a reason. I hate it, but it definitely has, you know, its place in fabric and society. So I need to suck it up and just get on with it. And I was just struggling. I was using the right needle, like I was using stretch. I even changed to a ballpoint. And I just could not get it to sew properly. So then I added tape onto the bottom of my foot, my presser foot, so that it would run more smoothly through it. Still, the thread was just constantly breaking, so I decided to change the thread. Because I use like the normal cheap kind of thread for most of my projects, because frankly, I think that you can sew with cheaper thread. It doesn't have to be expensive thread. And I was like, maybe it's the thread. So I changed it to some Gutermann thread. I had some black in my little stash, and sure enough, now it's working fine. So I guess what I've learnt from this experience is if you're going to sew stretch fabric, especially because you should be doing it with a zigzag stitch, in my opinion, because that's, you know, how you want it not to break when you're wearing it, you need to use Gutermann thread or better quality thread than your cheapest stuff that you may normally sew with. It's a little while later and now my pants are essentially completed. They're really big and baggy, and I think that they're a little bit too big. The waist, like, I know that the top is going to hold it up, but like I'm not getting the snatched waist that I wanted, and I think that's just because of the stretch fabric. It's now a little bit too overstretched, and I did cut like the bigger size because I was going off what the grids were saying, and I'm like, well, I know what my waist is at the moment, and that's smaller than my waist, so hopefully that will work. But yeah, too big. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to add some elastic into the actual waistband. I've left a side section open so I can do that. I'm going to stop there, have some lunch, and then when I come back, I'll put the waist, the elastic into the waist, and I'll probably end up doing a line of sewing along that to kind of keep it from rolling. It's a little bit late now, and what I've done is I've put some thick black elastic in the center, and rather than doing a like line of stitching right in the middle, what I've decided to do to help it stop flipping while I'm wearing it is I've just done a kind of line of sewing in the seam line, so you can't really see it on both of the sides. So that will keep the elastic hopefully from turning, and once I get the top on, then everything will be secure. So the pants now fit so schmick. I really like how they're falling. So if the top doesn't work out, I'll just turn this into like a pair of pants because I really like them. All right, now to figure out the top. This is where we're up to with the bodice. So I've got the two front pieces gathered at the kind of top layer, and then I also put in the dart. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the back pieces to the shoulder seam of both of these pieces, and then what I believe I'm going to do is I'm going to gather up like the front section at the bottom, which is going to be attached to the waistband, and then once I've done that, then I'll be able to sew that to the lining on both front, the back, on both sides, and then with that done, I will then be able, wait, no, before I do that, I need to do up the arm side. Yes, it's confusing, but I'm following the instructions. So if I mess this up, I'm gonna blame the instructions. That sounds fair. And here's the finished product. This has been something that I've been wanting to make for quite some time now, and I'm glad that I just put aside a day and I actually did the thing. it was fun to Frankenstein together 2 different patterns to create this look, and I'm not quite sure how good the bodice looks. I love the pants. Oh my gosh, I love the pants. The bodice was an interesting creation process, shall we say, but you know what? Overall, it looks good. Nothing is coming out, nothing is exposing, and it's very easy to get on and off, which was my main kind of design want and need for this project, being a onesie. I really liked how it turned out, and I am sure that I'm going to wear it out. I don't know whether I like it more just as is or with the black belt. Let me know in the comments what you think. But I am really excited to now get on cracking with my sewing plans for cosplay for 2024. I still haven't decided what is going to be my first project, but I will soon, because I want to start something next week. I just have to figure out which of the 6 projects that I currently have fabric for, which one I'm going to do first. Yeah, fun. Thank you so much for joining me on this very short little sewing vlog as I create a onesie for general wear and, you know, cosplay adventures. And before I forget, a very special thank you to my amazing patrons, especially the $10 a month tier patrons, who are
Justine Ghosty, Rogue Threads, Fangirl X, Sam M, Monica, Lulu Rush Cosplay, and Sotaku.
Make sure you like, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments, what have you created by Frankensteining 2 different or 3 different or 4 different patterns all in one? I'd love to know. Alright, I'll see you on the next one. Bye!